What's up, Internet? Brad Bourne here, and today we're going to do a walkthrough of my own game. Because all the videos that I've posted, some random walkthroughs from other people of my games, always get more views, so we're gonna try something new here. But first, I'd like to thank our supporters on Patreon. If you're able to support the Fancy Pants Adventures, you get access to tons of behind-the-scenes content, play beta builds before release, and get standalone builds of the classic FBA games. The World 2 Remaster will be available to supporters as I work on it, and I'll be asking you guys for feedback during development. And with all that out of the way, let's take a look at the game that started it all, the Fancy Pants Adventures World 1. As you can see, there is a lot more collectibles in this game. This is the remaster of World 1 on iOS and Android. It's free, so you have no excuse to go grab it. I know you guys love free games. But hopefully I can give a bit of insight to the game as I'm playing through, so we should have timestamps somewhere in case you want to skip to the actual collectibles. Sorry, I've recorded this a few times, OBS 8 at the beginning of my video. So I'm trying to think of what I say later in the other part of the recording and whatnot. But anyway, so why do I keep revisiting this level? Because I did the remix well, a while ago now, before Super, and now the original game includes the remix and Cutie Pants playable for the first time. And I think this level just sort of established what Fancy Pants was for me, and so as I make changes to the engine, evolve the controls, make everything look and feel better, I like coming back here and seeing if it still all works here, and sort of seeing this level with a fresh perspective. And you know, World 1, you guys liked it way more than I thought anybody would, and when I go back to it now, I think it's terrible. You know, I'm my own worst critic. And so I feel like I always want to do it better. You know, I want to do this game right. And who knows, maybe it's imposter syndrome or some weird thing. But I don't know, I really appreciate the reception that the Fancy Pants series has gotten, and I just feel like you guys deserve better. And you know, not to mention Flash is being murdered from the internet, so I know everybody's a bit worried about Flash game preservation. And you know, it's not too difficult to get these out on mobile. So of course the next project is to get World 2 out, so you know, if you're able to, any support on Patreon, or you know, however you can, just download and play this game, really helps. Or you know, go get Super, check the description for all the games, or hey, just go play some Flash games on my site if you can drudge out the old antique Flash player for that. It all helps. You know, man, back in the days of Flash, it was so much easier to let everybody know that, you know, your game was out there. But nowadays, even releasing something on the phones, and everybody's got a phone, it just gets buried. That's something I really miss about Flash. You know, it's a bit more curated. And so the original game, you know, speaking of just Flash in general, the original game had trophies from other Flash artists. And I think that just comes from how the Flash community was. You know, you could sort of see through games and animations, and in a good way. Like, you could sort of tell how they were made, and you think, you know, I can do that. And before this, I was doing stop motion videos. I would make stupid videos with friends and family and all. And it's sort of just kind of the natural extension of me wanting to make more dumb things.
Hello, you've reached the voicemail box.
And this is the first real new thing of the remaster. The first message really broke the fourth wall in the same way that this does, but it didn't really make sense anymore. And you know, you can't really break the fourth wall and pretend like nobody's ever played the game before. You know, this is really I love that this is the first really hidden secret of World 1. You know, this is simpler times back then, right? I've actually re-recorded this a few times, and I've still yet to hit that no, not gonna happen this time either. Sorry, guys. And I refuse to cheat and edit. So that mouse is just gonna get out of here. So it was so funny back then. You know, you had such limitations on what you could show on the screen, and bitmap caching in Flash had just come out. So this is the only reason this game was even possible. You know, to have so much on screen at once and be scrolling fairly smoothly. But I still didn't want to put too much stuff on one level, so that's why the transition levels are more segmented off. Because, oh, look at these moving things here. What a crazy thing for Flash to do. Let's make sure to keep it as small as possible. And this level is interesting for another reason. It's, as much as everybody compares the Fancy Pants Adventures to Sonic, this is the only level that was directly inspired by Sonic. So even when I was working on it, people would mention Sonic, and you know, I grew up with a Nintendo. I would say Fancy Pants is more influenced by Mario 3 and the Looney Tunes Game Boy game, which I still need to do a playthrough of. And then it might be more obvious why that is. It's a pretty random one. But so I got the collection on GameCube and played through the Sonic games, and I really liked it, the Marble Zone, the moving. You know, it's super frustrating doing Sonic because of how slow Sonic starts up. I think Fancy Pants Man can win in a race, just saying. But I thought that would be an interesting mechanic to kind of dart through and have the level changing, so I'm just make it feel a bit more alive. You know, because everything's sketchy and full of energy. And so that's really the only thing that I took from Sonic. And it's the least Sonic thing ever, which, you know, I find that interesting. So this is influenced by, there's a Flash game, I wish I could remember the name of it, but it's like an egg in a nest, and all you did was click to pop the egg up, and it would be in, I don't think it was a set position or anything. But I'll let you know, Flash games are so good at exploring like one small little gameplay mechanic, and being able to make a game out of something that wouldn't necessarily stand on its own. Whereas, you know, the type of games that I like to make, I'd rather see interesting mechanics like that put together into a full experience. And so with this one, with World 1 especially, there's so many like little mechanics that never really showed up anywhere else. Whereas in the later games, I used more bonus rooms like this, where this is, you know, jumping on enemies is a core part of the Fancy Pants Adventures, especially for Super. I wanted to make everything specifically, you know, for the I don't know, like what really makes the Fancy Pants Adventures the Fancy Pants Adventures. I wanted to explore the very identity and core of that. This guy. So actually, I raised the jump between World 1 and World 2, and it's still higher here, so you used to have to do this and wait for this guy. He's watching me. I love adding little dumb things to games. Just having spiders very happy when you don't jump on them. And when they bite you, they love that. That's the best part for them. So the trophies in Fancy Pants Adventures 1, now this was before Shovel Knight was in everything, and Super Meat Boy, well, even before that, Super Meat Boy was in literally everything, and, you know, had their own cameos. But just the nature of Flash, it's such a community, so people would, like, the very, I always feel like the best part of Flash games is that they are so raw and rough, and so many of them were fun, but, like, you can kind of see past them, you could see into them, and you could think, you know, I can do that. Like, you see an animation where you can still see the pencil lines, or a painting where you can see each individual brush stroke. Like, it helps you understand that you can do that. And that's why I got into making Flash games, because there were like simple animations where you just pressed a button to do something. And I was like, well, I can do that. I can make a button to press. And just kind of kept going from there. But, you know, video games are such a black box nowadays. I think that's a bit of a detriment, where you know, for the most part, you don't even know where to start. All right, here we go. This is the one reason, or the main reason I want to make a walkthrough, is because everybody wants to know where the 5th page is. And it's the same place as the hidden level in World 1. But there's that little, you know, I like to hide things in the outlines and all the scribbles there. And you know, I really just made this level so you could do this. I think one of the first times I was testing the game and I was really going crazy with making lines and, or like, you know, things that you can run on. I remember running up and like jumping off of it and I just landed on my head and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And so since then I have a rule, you always have to be able to land on your head in a Fancy Pants game. Because that's what separates Fancy Pants from tile-based games or Sonic or anything else. You know, it's so open. The movement itself is so, you know, it's so flexible that you can do something that like most developers would not let you do. There you go. And Cutie Pants is the first new playable character that I worked on, you know, for this series at least, since Fancy Pants, man. And even for this game, you know, I redrew the smoke again because why not? And actually, the smoke was the only thing in the first game that I didn't animate. That was by James Coleman, who was on. I hope I'm saying that right. But he was just another Newgrounds artist, and we were talking about animation and stuff, and he's like, yeah, I can do some smoke. But I like the idea of having everything in the game, you know, mine. So for Super, I redid it, and I was never really happy with the smoke I did for Super, so I redid it again. Maybe that's a difference. You used to be able to hit that, and then you'd fall on the ground. It's not as punishing anymore. Had to rewrite that. That sign looked pretty bad. The biggest differences between, I mean, the old game and this one is just how much better Flash is. It's animate now. And so all the writing, we're going to sit here and talk a bit. Penguin, you chill there for a bit. All the writing in the game was so bad because like the vectors just would never really behave. Sorry, Adobe. But the new brushes and all in animate are amazing. So everything written and animated looks a lot better. Kind of want to do a before and after of some of the animations. And then I think I never, you know, to an extent I got better at animating, but for the most part it was just me realizing that the longer I spent working on something, the better I could make it. And that was just like understanding that rather than every time, you know, my stylus touches the iPad or what I'm working on, it looks better. It's just now I understand that I can take longer on things and they're going to look better. So yeah, don't be discouraged, guys. If you don't feel like you're making progress, sometimes you just need to spend longer on it. All right, what should we do next? Remix or Cutie Pants? I guess it's been what, 12 years. We'll let Cutie Pants out. Her time to shine now. So Cutie Pants, I first had a concept of and first talked about while working on World 3. And she was going to be playable in World 3. I had concept art of her. She had the grapple cat. But I did not want to put her in unless I could make something very different from Fancy Pants Man. And I think, you know, that's what the grapple mechanic was. And, you know, let's face it, grappling hooks are the best platform mechanics, if you've seen that video that I made on that. But we ultimately kind of gave up on trying to do multiple players and just focused on having online multiplayer in you know, the 360 and PS3 versions. But man, I always will love doing that. It's like, go that way? No, I'll go this way. It's fine. You may have saw what I did earlier. That's a pretty advanced mechanic of hers to kind of short hop and jump on the spider. Gotta check the frame date on that attack. He really likes that. You weirdo. Alright, take me to the end, Spider. Let's go. This is riveting content. Hey, people look at weird stuff on YouTube. I'm sure you guys will love this. Anyway, yeah, so speedrunning with Cutie Pants. I'd love to have her as a bigger part in a game at some point, because I think speedrunning with her would just be fascinating to watch. And she doesn't have her own dialogue here, does she? But she does need to get her wall jump separately. It was funny because this was the one really like secret, the big secret in the first game, where oh man, so somebody was interviewing Tom Fault of Newgrounds fame, and they're asking him what dog, what are you doing? She's like dancing over there. But yeah, this is the not so stealth brag. Sorry guys. Somebody was talking to Tom Fault, but you know, what's the newest Flash games to look out for? And he really liked Fancy Pants Adventures. And he's like, oh, I like the hair is. You know, I really like the flowy hair, which is funny because it was the old version with the really bizarre looking hair. But hey, it's something, I guess. And then the guy's like, did you find the wall jump? You know, like that's the one big secret in that game. It's like, yeah, of course I found the wall jump. God, I met Tom Fulp at the first Comic-Con we went to. It was Comic-Con, right? Yeah. And I swear it was like so bad for me. It's like meeting, you know, some crazy actor, or, you know, like that's top tier human, or I guess, I don't know, some NFL player or something. Oh man. I'm gonna do that again. Yeah. First you don't succeed. This is why this is not a speed run. Actually, I wonder if you can break this with that. Oh, you can! Alright, well, there you go. There's a speedrunning strat. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, come on. That was gonna look really cool. We're gonna try that again. Get out of here, dude. There we go. Ow. Whatever. Do what I want, mouse. Do what I want. For the remix had different bonus rooms from the original. So for Cutie Pants and Fancy Pants Men, they're a bit adjusted. So she has her own unique bonus rooms in the remix, and that's where she really shines. So we're gonna have more fun when we bring her over to the remix. So actually, well, nah, I'll save that to actually to the remix. So here we go, guys. How much would you like to see Cutie Pants in later Fancy Pants Adventure games? Because I don't know, I want to go more with like a heavier story, so it would be difficult just to substitute her for, you know, to swap Fancy Pants Man and her. I talk with my hands a lot, and so I keep letting go of the controller when I have an idea. It's really bad. This is why I'm not a Let's Player. So I'm not really a YouTuber in the first place. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I don't usually. For the next game, I want to have more of a story that is, you know, where Fancy Pants Man ends up after Super Fancy Pants Adventures. So I wouldn't be able to just swap her with Fancy Pants Man. But there's always the possibility of having her own gameplay sections, like in, I don't know why I'm thinking Resident Evil 4, when you play as Ashley randomly. And kind of show what she's doing, like as a side. You know, what's been going on ever since Fancy Pants Man went on his little adventure in Super. Is that something you guys would be interested in? It's too easy. She breaks the game. Is that no? Okay, so Caboodle here is voiced by our cat, by my wife's cat, mainly, Norris. And I'm sure if you've watched my YouTube videos enough, he's probably popped up in the background. He's the loudest cat I've ever heard. I'm not even exaggerating. He is constantly making noise. And so of course he is the, well, I guess we put him in first. So he's the first voice actor ever for the Fancy Pants Adventures. You can hear him. There we go. And I think he's outside my window yelling, and it's messing with my head. I don't know what's what. Yep, there he is. Hey, Norris. I think he wants to come brag about his beautiful VA, voiceover, voice acting, either one. Penguin probably, we need more. Penguin should probably have some grunts or something. So the Penguin is, the behind the scenes, the behind the pants, which is one of the most highly viewed videos on my channel, where I talk about the Fancy Pants Adventures with Paul, and the Penguin is his character, and that's why it only really appears in the first one. Same with the Smoke. Like after the first game, I wanted the Fancy Pants Adventures. You know, it's an interesting thing, because when I first started making the games, when I first started working on them, I would do things because, you know, this is what Mario would do. You know, we'd have a box here with, you know, squirrels coming out, or you know, this happens because this is what platformers do, or this, you know, big platformer game does it. But as I try to evolve the series, I want the question to turn into, you know, what does Fancy Pants Adventures do? Is it different from those? I mean, it should be, right? But specifically, why am I doing that? I can't. I'm so bad at talking and playing at the same time. Hey guys, Brad from the future here, and through the power of editing, I'm going to insert a bit of video, because in this run through, I somehow forgot one of the most important hidden areas in the remix. I think it's really cool because in the original game I had planned a hidden area here, but I don't know what happened. I guess I was busy working on the rest of the game and it never made it in, so the remix was able to kind of correct that. But when doing the remix, a lot of the level mechanics, you know, since all the levels were from the original game, I was able to come up with a few new things and try out a few new level ideas, like pushing blocks around to sort of adjust the level so that you can run through it. And that's something I'd like to hear from you guys. So in the comments, tell me if you like the idea of being able to move things around and sort of improve your platforming, or if you just like running around as quickly as possible and jumping on things in the Fancy Pants Adventures. And of course, the popper from Super Fancy Pants, while I was working on that, sort of snuck its way in. Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled programming. So the question went to what game mechanics does the Fancy Pants Adventure specifically have? And then for Super, it was more, I tried to push that even further, and it was what game mechanics does Super specifically focus on? And I wanted to really tighten everything up and you know, get that even more focused than before. Purple pants. Oh, what's that? Newer things. So, okay. So for the original idea behind the remix, my number one, what I think is the best video game ever made, is Super Mario 3. And that's where most of the inspiration for Fancy Pants comes from. Yeah, not Sonic. It's actually, you know, Mario running around pretty quick. You know, there's ramps in that game. You can get a bit of momentum off of that. But when playing Mario 3, I'd go through it every now, like, you know, just for fun, just every now and then. It's my comfort food game, basically. And for some reason, decades later, I did not realize that in the desert level, you could, don't break, it broke a little bit. You could hit you could use the hammer to break the rock, and there's this whole other section in Desert World. I don't know how I missed that. Like, it's right there, right? It's a rock, you'd think. But, you know, my friends and I used to play the Super Mario All-Stars version for years and years. We'd go get items, and it actually formed more of how, you know, there's the level select rather than everything. Well, yeah, I don't know. probably, I don't know if it was forming how I thought of that, but I don't know if it really reflects it properly in the game. But yeah, what was I talking about? I tangent too much, but hey, this is a walkthrough. You're just trying to figure out where to get the items, right, guys? Get out of here. Am I missing a hat? I'm missing a hat. Let's go get the bubble hat. We need our bubbles first, and then we'll get the with the ink. So I got that, and it was so weird to me to see such a game that I was so familiar with. And I know that players would, you know, First World is so short, people would play it over and over again in school or, you know, whatever, instead of doing chores or crazy deviants. That I like the idea of something being so familiar and then introducing these like hidden things. There's the speedrunner right there. MLG! So it was cool to hide things in each level. I like the idea of hiding things in each level and people. Was it in is it Mario 3 or one of the older Mario games? Might be Mario 2. Did I go in there already? I really don't remember. That's why I cannot talk and play games at the same time. In I think it's Mario 2. Yeah, I already got that. I'm wearing it. The when you put Sonic and Knuckles on, there would be a place that you could get with Knuckles that you couldn't get with Sonic, and it was like an extra life on top of a loop or something, or a loop. And so everybody was wondering, like, was that always there? And it wasn't. Sonic and Knuckles specifically added it there. But I love that idea that there's parts of the level that were previously unexplored. It just makes everything feel a bit more alive. I'm trying to sip coffee in between level transitions here. This is a nice long one. Oh, that meta humor. What do you guys think of, I'd like to hear some opinions in the comments. What do you think of the meta elements of Fancy Pants Adventures? Because I think I used to do them because I just didn't really take the game seriously as a Flash game. But like, when I'd see other things do that, I always thought it was pretty funny. But then recently I was playing through The Messenger, which is a really fun game. But I almost feel like they pushed that too far. I was talking to somebody, I mentioned it for good gameplay, and they're like, man, I didn't find it funny. And I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, I think it takes it a little too far too. So now I'm almost questioning myself. Like, do you ruin your own, not like seriousness, but like your own internal fiction by doing that? Oh, here's another edit. Let's see. You know what? I animated so much of this hair. I'm going to view my beautiful hair. No, seriously, it's hours of hair animation. There we go. There's the edit. See me after class. World 4 was super. It's already out. I can barely see that. We need a better one. Let's see. And of course, I had to reprogram this after Super because Super used textures and different things that were more complicated, so they couldn't just recolor the design. Here. Let's watch his journey. Oh, come on. That's better. No, why did I do that? You know, for me, really it plays again? I guess it does. Are we gonna have to do all this again? Oh no, maybe I'll fast forward. We'll see. But for me, the Fancy Pants Adventures, I shouldn't say important things here. I guess I can't fast forward. Oh, whatever, you can fast forward, who cares? Fancy Pants Adventures is, you know, I'm trying to give you a bit of like an insight on kind of how I make the games, and then you can sort of tell where the future games are going to go from there. And I don't know, I like seeing that from content creators, so I'm going to pretend like I'm important enough that people actually care about hearing from me. Oh man, where was I again? But oh yeah, the series is about just playing around. Like I like to think of each level as a playground. So being able to just, you know, kick a mouse off a ledge. Like, if you couldn't do that, it wouldn't be the Fancy Pants Adventures. If you could just be angry at a mouse or juggle a spider and try to hit this dude. Come on, we're doing this. No! I've been defeated. I'm not following you again. Good luck on your journey, dude. I think the mice didn't roll in the first one either, so that's another difference. But come on, mice gotta roll. So while we're doing this, in the comments, come on, because we gotta feed that algorithm, right? Look, I'm not a YouTuber, but we still, the algorithm demands sacrifice of your time. So put in the comments, where was the first place that you played the Fancy Pants Adventures? Because I get a lot of people tell me they played it in like computer class in school. Which, you know, if I can contribute to the delinquency of America, then hey, why not? But where was the first place you played it, and what was the first game? I know a lot of people jumped in on World 2. Feed the algorithm. Give me those comments. Come on, guys. So what is it with aviators, or like goggles, right? Maybe it's because I grew up in the 90s and all the cartoons, like it was the coolest thing in all the cartoons, right? Like everyone had them. All the cartoon characters, all the anthropomorphic mouse characters had goggles, and it was awesome. And they never wore them, like they did every now and then. When they did, then you know they meant business. So I had to, but it was. There's so much for the remix that I was making. It was a good excuse to explore new mechanics for a game that was much quicker to get out. Super took like 2 years, and that was after rewriting the whole engine. But like jelly platforms like this, and I swear I used to be able to push them and they'd move a bit, because when you had 2 people, you could have one person there and they'd shoot them around. And then there's a few mechanics that were made for Super that made it in here first. And of course, see how many people notice this. If you played the remix before, the hidden pants. And if you've played Mirror's Edge 2D, there are hidden pants in there too, because there always has to be hidden pants. The pants are just too fancy to leave out. I think I am gonna stick with that beautiful luscious hair. Seriously, it's like 100 frame of animation. We're gonna look at it. And I didn't include the remix with the original, so I wasn't too worried about making the challenges that much different. So this is just kind of the engine had been improved so much that it was much easier to jump around. So I put a few more things there. And I think the remix had the wall jump unlocked from the beginning. But yeah, a lot of the remix is just about surprising the player. I don't know, what do you think? Did it succeed? Oh no, we need to stand out, dude. Let's see. How about, what is your favorite combination of colors? And man, at one point, I don't know if customization is going to be as big of a deal in the next game, but it would be really cool to actually allow players to like choose stickers or patterns or patches and like really customize the pants. But they're so hard to see, they're so tiny, so I don't know if that'd even be worth it. So, should I tell the story? If I told this on, I don't know, well, I might as well. So with the squiggles, I started placing them kind of everywhere because they're a guide for the player, right? So in Fancy Pants Adventures, you can decide whether to jump off a ramp or to just run off a ramp. It's 2 very different things that happen. And when I was much younger, I was trying to learn how to dive. Right, I'd always like it's difficult to just like go head first into something, even if it's just water. I would I would move, I would pull, like you'd kind of lose form towards the end of the dive because it was such a unnatural thing. And at a pool party thing, 4th of July or something, at a family member's house, well, like extended family, they had a diving board and they had all these rings in the pool, and I remember aiming for these rings, like it was a inner tube, and I was aiming while trying to dive. I was trying to aim through the inner tube, and I realized that just aiming at something made for some reason it was so much easier, like having a target, and that drastically improved my diving form. And so when getting people to wall jump, it's like, hey, jump here or go this way. And so the squiggles, for the most part, people ask, what do? They give you a life. Do they do anything else? Well, yeah, they kind of guide you. And then if you find a place that's lacking, that has no squiggles, you've probably already been there. So when you guys run through levels, you gotta tell me, do you do front flips everywhere? Because I don't think Fancy Pants Adventures is necessarily about just going fast through levels. I think it's about going through levels as fancily as possible and just, doing fakies, or I don't know, some 90s skate term is a fun way. All right, here we go. Let's talk about this a little bit. So I did get a comment. And I guess there's those things that you just really take to heart, even if not that many people say them. And somebody said, "Man, I love level 1. I loved level 2. Level 3 was just really boring." I was like, "Yeah, it was, wasn't it?" I think I've only gotten one comment that really said that, but I guess it's the things that are true that really hurt. And so I made an entire game just to destroy level 3. Oh, good base over there, dude. Good job. Your car is awesome. The Angry Dragon Bird things. So these are the original Angry Birds. One day I will sue Rovio. One day. But no, these are the best characters in the game, and the fact that they have not made a glorious return to one of the later levels is an absolute crime, and I will apologize every day until they are there. And of course, if you check my website, I have a Flappy Bird ripoff with Angry Dragon Bird thing. And if any creature or character deserves his own Flappy Bird, it's not Miley Cyrus, it's definitely the Angry Dragon Bird thing. So you can go play that on my site. Where are we going, guys? What's going on? So with Super and past, and into the future, I really want to push and hey, if you've beaten Super, you might know that we're kind of going in that direction, but that everything is drawn, and the meta humor sort of backs that up. That Fancy Pants Man is in a notebook, and what if something goes weird in there? What if levels that you've run through many times suddenly get changed or erased or redrawn? Like in the same way that Mario 3. It takes place on a stage. That's kind of the aesthetic. Everything has shadows and the curtains in the beginning and all that. This all takes place inside of a notebook. So what else can happen? Actually, we should probably just stop for a minute and listen to this song, because this is the best song in the new out of the new music. And shout out to Guy Arnold for doing all the music for the remix too. I hadn't talked to him in years, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I've been still doing music, have more software and equipment, and let's totally do a new set of songs." And of course, the best. I don't know why I didn't say it earlier. The best music in the first one is well, my favorite is the Angry Penguin March. And if you listen in Super for the main boss music, not the final boss, but like the 1 and 2, it uses the Angry Penguin March as a bass. You gotta go down there. There we go. Hole in one. Oh god. No, get that way. I wonder if they're friends. Or they're related. I don't know. Maybe they never met before. Oh, look at him. He loves his hat. It's a piece of paper, but he loves it. In my at my grandparents' house, when it like rained really bad, there would always be like a path of water out to the drain. We'd build paper boats and try to sail them all the way over. That's what I mean. It's a paper boat hat. It's the same thing, right? A paper boat and paper hat. Only so much ways you can fold paper. Well, at least that I know of. But the paper, it always sank before it got anywhere. So I tried putting a bunch of tape. Tape's waterproof, right? That didn't really work. It's funny as a kid. I feel like everything you make as a kid is transient. It doesn't it falls down or dissolves in water, or but it's not meant to last. I think that's one of the biggest draws of making video games was for me. You can make something that people can beat and destroy and play through and complete, but it'll always be there again at the end of the day. Maybe that's why games with tons of destruction are so much fun. Alright, so this is the first place that I ever really required a player to gain speed to ramp somewhere. Which is weird because now I feel like that is the center of the Fancy Pants Adventures. And it wasn't until a remix of the first game that I required that. Oh, the music's so good. But what did the squiggles do? You know what? Nothing. I have no idea. Oh. Hey, kudos to me for extending the trigger all the way out there. That's foresight. I don't know, I was thinking about people like breaking my game. The biggest difference with Super, I had to move the whole engine from AS2 to AS3, and the biggest difference with AS3, it's much faster because it's so much stricter. So if something's undefined, or you haven't, or if there's not a movie clip there or anything, it just breaks. So the old games feel more stable in a way, because they would just break constantly. You'd never know about it, because nothing was declared or typecasted or whatever you call it. Whereas with Super, anything goes wrong and you're gonna know it, which is a wonderful feeling as a programmer when you watch your game fall apart in front of a person playing it. You're like, we were having fun, and then the game just gave up. Oh man, that's gonna be really cool too. There's a way to skip a big section in this level, but I think I'm just gonna go the normal way. I can't really remember, and if I mess it up, I'll look really dumb. That was pretty cool though. There we go, yeah. And the slide boost is the other thing. I pointed out in Super, but I don't think it's ever really needed. But hey, look, hey Sonic, you know that drop spin thing you do? Yeah, we've been doing it way a long time ago. We did it first. I think for later games, I want to start kind of requiring more usage of things like that. Oh, but we just got our fire. She got the noodle bowl first. Let's go back to the fire. Fire's pretty cool. That was fun moving everything over to Starling. It's like now I can just throw a ton of stuff on this. Like back in the day, right, when people were playing it in the web browser, I'd have to think, I don't know if I can put that much dust. Everything's gonna choke. And I would get And when we upgraded the computer, my family got a new computer, or if I got a new laptop or something later on, I remember thinking, it's such a dumb thing, but like, oh, I wonder if Flash games will be faster now. You know, if I can watch the latest Bitey cartoon without slowdown. It's like use all like 900 megahertz to watch a video. It's actually a pretty good tip to give here. The pencil follows where you're going. So if you're standing still, of course, you're not going anywhere, and you will get stabbed in the head, which is always fun. But so the best strategy isn't to try to run away from it, but to direct where the pencil itself is going. Get out of here. I don't know, I always love the idea of a pencil having to sharpen itself. I was very proud of that idea. You know, those ideas, you're just like, you have to make them just to finish the game, and then there's the ones that you're like, yeah, that's funny. So here, I'm gonna try to show it more clearly. So when you're fighting the pencil, if you keep getting stabbed, remember it's going... Hurry up, dude, come on. Good thing he's gonna electro sharpen over there, it's gonna take forever. So if you run and then change directions, you're almost like flinging him away from you. This is a pretty simple boss overall. That's probably the hardest part. Alright, dude. You're a goner. Alright, just like jumping through a door in Mega Man, you need to catch it in the air. There we go. And that is absolutely a Super Mario 3 reference. Alright, let's go back over here. Brother, why is your hair on fire? It's an awesome unlock hat. At least it wasn't DLC. So here we are in the remix with Cutie Pants. This is the most fun section for me since it's the most new content. So I don't know if I'm going to have as much to talk about. But there's some pretty interesting levels here. How much can we cheat first and foremost? There we go. I recorded this a few times. It ended up really stuttery, so I'm trying to remember what I said before and what I was just talking about in the other ones. So I'll try to keep the remix stuff. I'm sure I said I'd love to see some sort of speed run with Cutie Pants. There we go. Man, I did that so much worse last time. Pretty much worth redoing this section just for that. Bit of added from Super. It's the only place I think that there's a portal. Gotta love that. Oh, come on. Gotta love a little boost of speed that you can do with the grappling hook there. Come on. Aw. Oh, of course I'm gonna mess that up this time. Can't make the level too easy. Just, then I'm annoyed I keep forgetting about it. Get out of here, you don't have a hat. Ah, the yin-yang dress. So there's something deep and philosophical about that. Poor Cutie can't kick the bowling ball. She used to, then I realized that she can't slide, so I just turned that off. Yeah, I really like in the remix the new levels. And this is like a whole nother layer, right? Because the remix added levels, and then the remaster had to add the old levels. And then for Cutie Pants, now there's even more hidden levels that some of them you can kind of get to with Fancy Pants. That's the ultimate, like, boundary breaking, getting Fancy Pants Man into the Cutie Pants levels. So I'm trying to figure out why I already had that color. I don't know, I've tried to re-record this so many times, I might have just messed up. Anyway, there it is. That color is not... Oh, why am I doing this? Yes! Totally on purpose. Alright, now we get to accessorize the dress. I know this is the kind of content you came here for. Let's see. That's messing with my eyes. Riveting. Look, I'm not recording this until this dress is perfect. There we go. So that makes, yeah, that hidden level down there one of the only ones that Fancy Pants Man can get to and Cutie Pants can't. Oh, that's a little over enthusiastic there. Yeah, Caboodle doesn't stick to the moving block platforms. Maybe one day. Gotta upgrade your cat. How many games do you think have cat upgrades? I feel like it's probably more than you'd think. These are fun. If I had a full game with Cutie Pants, I would definitely have a ton of these platforms everywhere. Yeah, once I had some new like bonus levels that I really liked, I started getting mad that I was just using the old World 1 levels because I think I could do a lot more with her. Alright, dress. It's not cutting it. Yeah. That's nice and bizarre. How much can we cheat here? Let's say. Get it. This is my new Olympic sport, cat wall rock climbing. Oh, I need something up there to hang from. Bug report, the pants don't turn into a dress. What Cutie Pants is playing. Ah, polka dots. Good old polka dots. Love the shuffle. Hello everyone, Future Brad here. Sorry to interrupt your Cutie Pants shuffle there, but apparently this level up here was so well hidden, I forgot about it last time. So let's go take a look at that real quick. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this level. It's just fun. So how are you guys doing? Everyone okay over there? YouTube working out for you? Y'all playing any good games recently? Alright, tell the truth. Was this the level that you forgot? Oh my god, and I'm just gonna fall in there. Hey, checkpoints! I'm nicer than I thought. But yeah, if you haven't, check out the video that I did, the greatest platform mechanic. I show off my other adventures in grappling hooks and platformers. It's a lot of fun. Alright, and through the magic of video editing. Yeah, but like I said, it's the first time that I've done a new character in years, and I really wanted to try something new with her animation. So she kind of ducks down and scoots back and forth. She definitely has a lot less frames of animation than Fate's Pants Man does, even in his simpler animation. Alright, this place is actually pretty hard here. There we go. Oh, of course. We're getting up there. Oh no, or not. Let's restart. All part of the plan. See, there's gotta be a better way to do this. There we go. Just gonna sleep there, huh? Okay. Oh, come on. Alright, this level's really hard, which means I need the right color patterns. There we go. We can do this now. It's also my goal to make this take less number of tries than the last time I recorded this. Not doing great so far. Come on, Caboodle. There we go. That's not bad. For here is a good tip. Try to land closer to the platform so you don't swing too far into the spikies. And she doesn't backflip. Poor cutie pants. Is it the appropriate season for diagonal stripes? I don't know. Alright, this is also where we're doing a walkthrough is very much necessary. Well, I'm thinking of the final boss. This is pretty self-explanatory, but we'll get there. I was gonna say, it's a pretty big missed opportunity that you can't just ride. I mean, you can. There's nothing back over there. It's so sad. Yeah, okay. Later, dude. Of course, since we can grapple cat now, don't forget to check down here. And everybody was mad when there was no penguin down here first, so I had to remove the sign. We had, you know, more time. The angry penguin be chilling down there doing something, but you know, gotta actually release games eventually. Come on, pencil, why do you hate me? I can't even use a pencil. How much can we break this level? Hey, pencil, I win. There we go. Didn't change this level for Cutie Pants, but she can definitely rock it better than Pants Pants Man can. There's a combo. Guys, you really should be shooting each other. I'm mad that's not happening. Cut that out. Ah, you don't roll. A beautiful scribbly dress. And of course this part, well, we gotta get down here first, but this part becomes way easier with her. Would it be annoying if the squiggles made an actual melody if you got them quickly like that? I feel like that might just get annoying. I don't know. Wait a minute. I wonder if we can do this. No. Don't even need Cutie Pants to do that. Oh no, here we go. I don't know why I thought I didn't give her a new level. You know what this reminds me of? The, you ever played Maui Mallard, the Donald Duck game on SNES and Genesis? They have these bonus levels where you bounce around. I don't know why I don't know if I was thinking about that when I made this, or if it just reminds me of it now, but it's such a dumb, simple thing. Is there even colors up here? It's just for messing around in. Go, Caboodle! Rapid fire cat. Nothing. Oh, almost. Oh, get out of here. There we go. I'll do my pacifist run next time. Aw, now you can't see my pretty dress. Oh, come on. It's a fun place to swing through. And then I ruined it. What are you doing with that? Had to cheat a bit with that one, otherwise it's just kind of weird. Let's see. If I'm going to have a thumbprint, it's going to be a well-matched thumbprint. It's a good level for Cutie Pants, though. It's It's the most wide open one of this game. I'm so glad I didn't have to change any of these jumps for her. She doesn't jump quite as far. Alright, and here's the last reason I wanted to make a walkthrough. Clearly Cutie Pants was not made to battle the pencil. But I think that's pretty fun. If you're looking for a challenge, taking a character into the wrong game certainly does it. But there is 2 ways to knock the spider into the pencil. The easiest is what I just did there, ride the spider until you're close, and especially when the pencil's going slower, just jump and pull back the other way and the pencil's gonna hit the spider. Now the other one is of course far more fancy, so that's the one I'm gonna recommend and show you guys now. So if you do a short hop and hit the spider as he's in the air, you can hover him a bit above your head and run away by the time the pencil comes. I'm gonna practice, because I keep recording this over and over again, so I look bad at my own game. Man, how about that new smoke though, huh? Looks good. Hey, animating is the fun part of doing this. There you go. And if you get lucky and hit him right there, but it shouldn't give you too much trouble. And nothing! All that work for nothing. Oh well, poor Cutie Pants. And that's it.